Hello, I'm Brittany Carroll, and this is my Module 1. I teach 4th grade at Lingelstown Elementary School. That's part of Central Dauphin School District. This is my 3rd year teaching there. In my position as a 4th grade teacher, I am required to teach math, reading, language arts, and science. A little bit about me. I live in Harrisburg. I got my undergrad degree from Millersville University as well. I enjoy traveling, spending time with family and friends, and I am looking forward to fall for football and everything pumpkin. This here's a picture of my husband and I in Cabo San Lucas. This was actually our honeymoon. We just recently got married on New Year's Eve. And some other photos of our travels this summer. We made it up to Niagara Falls, and we got to go out to LA as well. This here is my little nephew Brady. I enjoy spending time with him. As far as online classes, I have not done any online teaching. I have taken a couple of undergrad classes online. After figuring out the layout and the format of online classes, I thankfully have had a positive experience. And I have to say, I'm very thankful for the opportunity to take grad class online. It's very convenient. I find it very challenging to figure out how I would fit in going to an actual class right now in my schedule. The first thing I'm going to respond to is the quote, good teaching is good teaching, whether it is online or in brick and mortar. This quote makes sense to me because I think it is true that good teaching can happen in different settings, and when you experience it, you know it's good teaching. So it doesn't matter if it's being delivered face to face or online. If it is good teaching, it can be done. However, I think it's very general because what it takes to perform good teaching in your so-called brick and mortar is a lot different than what you have to do online to display good teaching. So it's a very general statement because I feel it's measuring two different things. The next topic I'm going to respond about is the challenges of teaching online. The two that stuck out to me most were the student issues and course content. I felt this way. Time was the other challenge. However, I think time is a challenge in any setting in education. I think it's all very time consuming. Student issues was an interesting topic for me to read about because I feel like lately a lot of people have been suggesting online teaching, and I've always been a little hesitant and reluctant to dive into online teaching, only because unfortunately in my experiences, most of the students I know who have gone the path of online teaching are students who have struggled in the classroom or unfortunately might have a behavior problem. So I was always concerned about the clientele I would be teaching and the fact that I would need to be motivating them and hoping that they were logging on enough to do their work. I would think it would be harder to motivate the students online compared to being right there in front of them in the same room. Also, in the article, it states that they suggest that teachers help students learn how to self regulate their behavior so they are successful in such a setting of online teaching. So this would also add one more thing to the teacher in another task for them to try to solve. As far as course content, I found this interesting, and I think it would be difficult to adjust your plans, your lessons for your students when you may not be the creator of the lesson plans or course design. But this has me wondering if it means that you're not allowed to change and you have to follow the plan exactly, or just because somebody creates it doesn't mean that you would still be allowed to differentiate to meet your students' needs and interest. So I was interested in the course content, curious to learn more about that. After watching the commercials and reading about the standards, I just pulled out some of the things I saw in the commercials and how they align to the standards. I noticed overall that the commercials suggest an individualized or custom learning, which addresses several of the standards. The Carpe Diem school advertised custom education for each student as well as learn the way you would like, which definitely emphasizes standard C, knows and understands differentiated instruction based on students' learning. Some aspects that were addressed that I did not find in the standards for Carpe Diem was the importance of the 24/7 access or graduating early.